Okay, so we're going to get started. We are on section 7 of the review. This is mixed factoring. We're going to go ahead and start with number 29. Okay, so number 29 says we have 3x squared minus 18x plus 15 equals 0. And they want us to factor completely and then solve for x. Now this one's kind of funky because the number in front of x squared is a 3 and not a 1. So this is the one where I have to split the middle and factor by grouping. So I'm going to multiply 15 times 3. So 15 times 3 is 45. Oh, you could probably factor out a 3. That's a good observation too. So let's do that. I want to make sure though I do another way, the other way though too, because some of them you won't be able to factor it out. But yeah, we'll go ahead and factor out a 3. So then 18 divided by 3 is
6.
And then 15 divided by 3 is. So then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what are the factors of 5. Now it's a guess and check. So what are the factors of 5? So I have 5 and 1. So 5 times 1 gives us 6 when you add. And then, but I need negative 6. It's going to be negative 5 times negative 1, so you get negative 6. So this will be x minus 5, x minus 1. So then my answers will be x equals.
Wait, doesn't it have to be x squared minus 5x?
There we go. So then you end up getting x equals 5 and x equals 1. And those are your final answers. So that's number 29. That's number 29. So let's go ahead and do number 30. So I have 16x squared minus 49 equals 0. Now this is a dots problem, but there's an easier way to do this instead of doing a dots. What could I do, guys? Anybody see it right away? I can move what over?
49.
Yeah, just move the 49 over. And then now what can I do? I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 16. So I get x squared equals 49 divided by 16. So now I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to take the square root of x squared. So take the square root. So what's the square root of 49? And what's the square root of 16? 4. But it's going to be plus or minus. So your answer is positive 7/4 and negative 7/4. Alright, so last one now I'm going to do on this section is number 34. So I have 3x squared minus 17x minus 6 equals 0. Now here, I can't factor out the GCF like I did last time, so I'm going to have to split the middle and solve by grouping. So I'm going to multiply my first times my last, my A times my C, so that gives you negative 18. So I need to figure out what are my factors of negative 18 that add up to 17. So let's see, I know negative 18 and 1, that will give us, oh, there we go, negative 17. So I'm going to split the middle to be 3x squared minus 18x plus x minus 6 equals 0. Remember, I can't guess and check because there's a number bigger than 1 in front of x squared. So now I'm going to group these two guys and see what they have in common. Here I can factor out a 3 and an x. So this gives you x. And then 18 divided by 3 gives you 6, so it's x minus 6. And then here, I don't see how I already have x minus 6, so I'm just going to factor out a positive 1, because that's not going to change your answer. So then now my factors are x minus 6, and then what's ever left over, 3x plus 1. If I want to solve, I'm going to equal both of these factor bubbles equal to 0. So this one is going to be x equals 6. Here I have 3x plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to move the 1 over, divide by 3, so x equals negative 1/3. And those are my final answers.
So when it says